First at 4, what happened to this young man inside the old Northland Mall? The case is going to court 8 years after he died. We'll tell you where things stand. Michigan doctors sound the alarm about dropping immunization rates, and we're not talking about COVID. What they say the time to act is, and meteorologist Kim Adams returns on a rainy day. Kim.
We do have a few showers and thunderstorms. Exact Track 4D radar breaking down exactly when it's going to be raining in your neighborhood. Plus, when are we going to get rid of the humidity? That's right now on First at 4.
Local 4 News starts now with a breaking news alert.
We do start with some sad breaking news as we learn about the death of singer and actress Olivia Newton-John. Her rise to stardom started with hit songs back in the 70s, including Have You Never Been Mellow? In 1978, she starred in the iconic musical Grease with John Travolta before breaking records with her biggest hit song, Physical, which was #1 for 10 weeks. Newton-John fought breast cancer for years. Her family posted the news on her official Facebook page, saying she died at her home in Southern California, surrounded by family and friends. Olivia Newton-John was 73 years old. Also, first at 4, we are tracking the potential for showers and storms on our new Exact Track 4D radar. Some of you could see some of those strong downpours. Meteorologist Kim Adams returns to WDIV. And Kim, you are off to a busy start. What are we looking at today?
Well, it's great. We do get to use our new Exact Track 4D radar, and it has been on point this afternoon, pinpointing exactly where the heaviest rain has been. Just now in downtown Detroit, we're going to zoom in a little bit for you here. This cell just moved out over the Detroit River off to the east at about 30 miles per hour. So you can see it is dry now here in Detroit. Hamtramck also dry, but there is more back out to the west. So we are continuing to watch those showers and those thunderstorms develop here. We're going to widen things back out. There are some storms back over by Jackson that we will be tracking here over the next several hours. But I know what everyone wants to know. When is it going to stop being so humid? And I have some relief for you coming up, Karen.
All right. Thank you so much, Kim. Judge hearing testimony today in the case against 4 former security guards at the Northland Mall. The preliminary hearing will determine if there's enough evidence to go to trial. The 4 men are charged in the death of 25-year-old Mackenzie Cochran inside the mall back in 2014. Witnesses have said Cochran could be heard saying he wasn't resisting and could not breathe, but prosecutors decided against charges back then. Well, Attorney General Dana Nessel reopened the case and brought manslaughter charges. Jason Colthorpe is monitoring today's testimony, and we'll have an update on Local 4 News at 5. Neighbors on Detroit's east side are feeling just awful this afternoon about the deaths of a couple after a fire near Chalmers and I-94. It happened on Maiden Street, and we're told a man and a woman, both in their 60s, died from smoke inhalation. Neighbors say they pounded on the window of the home trying to wake the couple, but couldn't get them out. Investigators are still trying to figure out what caused that fire. Meantime, there's another fire mystery in downtown Detroit. Flames destroyed an iconic home that's right next to Little Caesars Arena. You've probably heard about that house, one of the few that was still standing as the Ilitch's District Detroit plan has been taking root throughout downtown. Now, at one point, the house was up for sale with a listing price of more than $2 million. No one was injured in the fire. We'll have an update when we hear more about the cause. 2 men accused of plotting to kidnap Governor Gretchen Whitmer are about to face their retrial over in Grand Rapids. The jury couldn't reach a verdict in the case against Adam Fox and Barry Croft Jr. earlier this year. Federal prosecutors will again try to build their case with secretly recorded conversations, text messages, and social media posts. The defense will argue Fox and Croft were entrapped by federal agents. Jury selection starts tomorrow morning. And it has been another long and emotional day for the family of Ahmed Arbery. Today, a federal judge is sentencing the 3 men convicted of committing federal crimes in the death of their son. The sentencings are happening one at a time starting this morning. Kimberly Gill in the newsroom with early reaction from Arbery's mother. Kim.
Hi, Karen. Good afternoon to you. The white father and son who chased Arbery through a Georgia neighborhood back in 2020 were the first to be sentenced. Travis McMichael and his father, Greg, were both sentenced to second life sentences. They're already serving life for murder convictions on state charges. And you probably remember the McMichaels armed themselves with guns and used a pickup truck to chase Arbery as he ran past their home. They told police they thought he was a burglar, but investigators determined Arbery was unarmed and had committed no crimes. The judge today also decided the men will serve their sentences in state prison and not federal prison as they requested.
I'm very proud to say that we finally got justice for Ahmaud on the federal level. I am pleased that they will do their time in the state penitentiary, and that's what I had been screaming the whole time.
Now, we're still waiting for the sentencing of William Roddy Bryan. He's a friend of the McMichaels who joined the chase of Arbery and recorded video of his shooting. All three men were convicted of violating Arbery's rights and targeting him because he was black. We'll have an update when you join us for Local 4 News at 5. Until then, Karen, we'll send it back to you.
All right. Thank you, Kim.
Sure.
Senate Democrats are now on their August break, celebrating a big victory on climate change, health care, and tax reform. The focus now swings to the House, which should vote on the Inflation Reduction Act Friday. The $700 billion bill was considered dead just 2 weeks ago, but passed the Senate over the weekend. It directs almost $400 billion to fight climate change. It allows Medicare to negotiate drug prices on some prescription drugs and raises the minimum corporate tax on businesses making more than $1 billion a year to 15%. Now, while the bill's name promises inflation reduction, Republicans predict it will make it worse. Republicans in the Senate stripped one key provision from the massive bill as they refused to lower the price of insulin for more than 150 million Americans with private insurance. Senate rules required 60 votes to keep that part of the bill, and the final vote was 57-43, with 7 Republicans siding with Democrats. The bill still puts a $35 cap on insulin prices for Americans on Medicare, but those on private insurance will not have that same protection. So Michigan doctors are sounding the alarm this afternoon about dropping immunization rates, especially as school prepares to reopen. Paula Tutman sat in on a roundtable hosted by the Michigan Academy of Family Physicians, where family practitioners voiced extremely dire concerns.
A cautionary tale from COVID. Our nation blew the window to eradicate the wild strain, which opened the door to numerous, some more dangerous variant strains. A combination of physical lack of access to physicians during the pandemic and the undeniable influence of deliberate misinformation, disinformation, and politics. And the nation is now at risk of seeing diseases we've not seen in 2 generations reemerge.
I just grieve over the potential for children and adults being hurt by preventable illness.
Immunizations in Michigan have dropped 6%. Today, 32% of children in this state are currently at risk of contracting a dread disease that can be prevented with basic, proven, tested, safe immunizations. And here's an example of a new old threat, polio. Once nearly eradicated, there was a time when children would be in school one day and not the next.
My parents and my grandparents literally were joyful at the advent of vaccines because they had such fear of the disease. The problem we have now is we don't fear these diseases. And because we don't fear these diseases, it's inevitable. If you don't know history, it will repeat.
Maybe anti-vaxxers were vaccinated themselves, and I said, look at you, you did okay. And so I try to encourage parents to say, you know, you wouldn't want your child to have something, wouldn't have something that you had that protects you.
And it's not just ancient diseases we once thought we'd eradicated threatening a comeback.
Measles is so contagious that for every person who has it, up to 9 out of 10 people around them will get measles if not fully vaccinated. The virus causing measles result in fever and rash, and in most serious cases, brain swelling, which can lead to permanent brain damage and death.
As these diseases we're talking about preventing, when they occur, we are almost powerless to treat them. We have very little that prevents catastrophic illness. And what people don't understand, if a child gets measles and starts getting the brain swelling, there isn't much we can do. We do supportive care. You know, if a child gets polio, there's nothing we can do to prevent paralysis. The window is now. There's no such thing as the time frame for prevention. You either do it now or we're going to have consequence.
Yeah, so keep in mind, in Michigan, most schools open in less than a month. And physicians are saying the time is now to keep these diseases from coming back with a vengeance, because if they do come back and they get a foothold, we'll just use COVID as the tutorial with what happens next. Karen?
So much there to consider and take into perspective. We do appreciate that. Thank you, Paula.